How will all this affect small businesses? Here now is Hector Barreto. He is former administrator for the Small Business Administration and Hispanic Business Roundtable Institute president. So, Hector, right after Obamacare was voted in, we saw all these small businesses moving their full-time employees to part-time employees so they didn't have to pay for insurance. There must have been thousands, if not millions, of small businesses that did that. Will that change now? Do you think we'll have more full-time employees as a result of the end of the business mandate?
I think it will, David. Look, this was about less regulation, less taxes, less intrusion in their day-to-day operations. If you give small businesses the opportunity to make those decisions themselves, they'll create those jobs and they'll move them from part-time to full-time. So we see this as a step in the right direction, a positive step, a lot more work left to be done, but I think this is going in the right direction.
You know, I was talking to Zane Tankel. He owns a lot of Applebee's in New York. He was talking, it's not just the mandate, because he frankly could afford to pay a little more of insurance, but it was all the paperwork that he had to do. It took so much more of his time. He had to create an entire division of workers, including accountants, just to deal with all the Obamacare paperwork.
There's no doubt about it. And since my time at the SBA, and this was in the early 2000s, small businesses were already screaming about how hard it was to provide health care to their employees. That has only gotten worse over the last decade. And so anything that we can do to take that boot off of their neck, to give them more freedom, more flexibility, more choices, and to start lowering the cost of health care, that's a very, very positive thing for the engine of America. And remember, David, they create 3/4 of the net new jobs. Right. And they represent 52% of the economy. Yeah. So this is very, very positive.
And that's where the innovation comes from. It's the small businesses. That's where the most hardworking people can be found. Let me just switch to tax cuts, if I can, for a second.
Sure.
Because we know that the president's plan, we've seen the blueprints, the vague blueprints of it. It's for cutting small business taxes. A lot of small businesses pay taxes as a part of their individual income, so some of them are paying over 30%. This would bring that down to 15%. What would that do to regenerate business on the small business side?
Like the president says, it would be huge. You know, we were really looking towards this health care proposal to see if it would include those subchapter S corporations. And you're absolutely right, David. Most small businesses apply as individuals, as subchapter S's. So if you lower that tax rate to 15%, that's going to take about 50% of their taxes away. And you know, there's another old saying, it's not what you make, it's what you get to keep. And if small business gets to keep more of their hard-earned money, they'll invest that right back into that business, and we'll get this economy growing again. And,
you know, there's also the talk about leveling the playing field, because a lot of the big companies, the big corporations, get these cutouts. They've got the lobbyists and the attorneys in Washington to get the special deals. According to what the president's team said, they're going to end a lot of those special deals with big business and level the playing field. Will that help small business?
It's very, very important, and it has not been a level playing field for a long time. You and I both know some of the largest corporations in the United States pay no taxes,
right,
but very few small businesses pay no taxes. They don't get all the deductions. They don't have an army of lawyers and accountants helping them navigate this labyrinth of all these regulations and all these pages of the tax code. Anything we can do to simplify it, make it easier for them to compete, that's a good thing for our economy and for 28 million small businesses in America.
Hector Barreto, great to see you. Let's hope that they work on taxes now. We all need our taxes cut. Thank you very much, Cheryl.
Thank you.